I want to talk a little bit about programming style, about something called structured programming. So when I was a kid, they had this toy called the Magic 8 Ball. This is what it looked like, except when I was a kid, it was a physical, actual plastic ball, and you shook it up, and you would ask it a yes or no question, and it would tell you something like, yes, definitely, no, I don't think so, or maybe it cannot be determined. So anyway, I wrote a little code to play this game, to simulate this Magic 8 Ball, and I can run it, actually. And it says, ask me a yes or no question. So I'm going to say something like, will we have pizza for dinner? And it says, you asked, will we have pizza for dinner? And it says, yes, definitely. Well, that's good news. So that's how the program works. It asks a question, and you know how these ask statements work by now. And then I join together you asked with whatever question they ask, and then I come up with a random number. If it's 1, I say definitely. If it's 2, I say no, I don't think so. Else I say maybe, it cannot be determined. So that was a fun game. But let's say I want this Magic 8 Ball to then say, would you like to ask another question? I want it to repeat, and I want it to keep repeating until the user says they don't want to play anymore. So down here, I said, well, I want it to keep repeating. Down here I put a forever loop around the question. So this is very similar to the code above, but I put a forever loop around it, and I'm going to keep asking them questions, and after each question I'll say, would you like to ask me another question? Type yes or no, and if they say no, I'm going to say goodbye or bye and stop the script. This works, but this is not the best way of writing this code. This is considered to be an unstructured code, unstructured, because you're saying that this is going to happen forever. And then inside of this forever, you're kind of violating that by stopping everything. When you write code, you want it to be very readable to other people. When I say forever, that means this is going to keep happening forever. So I don't want to do something that I'm not saying that I'm going to do at the top. Now this will run perfectly, and I can actually run this, but again, it's not the clearest way of writing this. So again, I can say something like, will we have pizza? I'm just going to make it quick. And it says, you asked, will we have pizza? And it says, no, I don't think so. That's very sad. And I'm going to say, yes, I want to go again. And ask me another question. This time I'm just going to do blah, blah, blah. You ask blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think so. And you can see it works. When I say no, it says bye, and the script stops. It stops the script. Again, this is not ideal. You want to limit the use of stop scripts in general. This is really an unstructured way of doing it. And also, you really only want to have do forever loops if it's really going to happen forever, at least for the entire program. Underneath, I wrote it in a way which is considered a little bit more structured. This is a better way of writing it. It's better because I'm saying exactly what I'm going to do right at the beginning. I'm saying that I'm going to repeat until another equals no. So I made a variable called another, and I set it initially to yes, and I'm going to keep repeating this loop until the answer to this question, would you like another question, is no. So at the end of this loop, it's going to add, this does just what the previous thing does, except I'm going to be able to leave this loop when another no longer equals yes, or when another equals no. So I know this is subtle. This was, of course, is going to work the same way as the one above it, but this is the better way of writing this loop. So again, I want you to limit the use of stop script statements and limit the use of do forever, of forever loops. Limit that. You'll need a few of them. Like if you're playing a game with where you're moving paddles or something, maybe you want a forever loop there, perhaps. But you really want to limit the use of them. And if you can use something else, use something else. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully you see why this is a little bit better than the previous way of writing it. And that's about it. So get to work on the next project.